What does the letter J remind you of? For me, it brings back memories of Heath Ledger's legendary Joker from The Dark Knight. Well, the answer to this would probably be different for every one of you. I doubt in someone's mind it actually takes them to the J series. Let's be honest. For a series of phones that Samsung has shipped millions and millions, tens of millions and millions of units of, Samsung has not really given us much reason to remember any one of the J series of smartphones. None of them have really stood out. So, has Samsung managed to break the trend, or do we have more of the same with the new entrants, the J7 Max and the J7 Pro? Well, let's take a look at the information coming out of the launch. But before we do, if this is your first time here, or in case Samsung's planned mid-rangers have dulled your memory, my name's Ash, this is C4E Tech, and let's get started. So let's start with the J7 Max and its specs. With a 5.7-inch display, a 1080p display, this phone sits comfortably in the phablet category. Although it does seem quite a bit smaller than its previous iteration, where the Max of yesteryear touted a 7-inch display. Underneath the hood, we have a MediaTek chip, but the Helio P20 chip, clocked in at 1.6 GHz, coupled with 4 GB of RAM and 32 GB of onboard storage. This phone also comes with support for 2 SIM cards and a dedicated microSD slot. As far as battery goes, we have a 3300 mAh battery here. As far as the cameras are concerned, we've got 13 megapixel cameras to the front and back with f1.9 and 1.7 aperture respectively. They have also thrown in a selfie flash now for good measure. Priced at 17,900 rupees, the J7 Max will hit the shelves from the 20th of June. So coming to my thoughts about the device, it looks decent enough, and I'm glad to see that Samsung's bezel-less design has somewhat trickled down to the lower variants of their phones as well. And oh yeah, our favorite smart glow ring makes a comeback, version 2.0 I guess. Tell me what you think about that in the comments below. Samsung have also included a version of Samsung Pay in here, and while we don't know what sensors Samsung has kind of skipped out on from the specs, from the press release, it seems like NFC might have made a cut here. From the onset, it does look like a decent device for the price. If you're looking for a Samsung device in this price segment, maybe. That's it. Let's now talk about the more interesting phone of the two, the J7 Pro. Again, let's get the basic specs out of the way. So the J7 Pro, here Samsung's using a 5.5-inch display, a Full HD display, but it's AMOLED here. And on top of that, it's the same slim bezels, 2.5D glass, and an always-on display. Again, even the J7 Max does come with always-on functionality. Underneath, we have a bump up in specifications. We find an octa-core Exynos 7870 chip, with the cores clocked up to 1.6 GHz. This is a fairly capable processor, since we've seen the same internals run the show on the J7 2016. And if you'd like to know more of our thoughts on it, here's a card to a full review. Check it out for more information. Now, what Samsung give it, Samsung take it away. So while on one hand we find a pumped up battery of 3600 mAh, a USB Type-C port, and 64 gigs of storage, the J7 Pro does get lesser RAM. So this comes with 3 gigs of RAM. And as far as memory goes, it's got microSD support as well. Expandable memory goes, it's got microSD support as well. The optics still remain the same, 13 megapixel cameras to the front and back, f1.9 to the front, f1.7 to the back. All these are fine and good, but here are some specs that made me do a double take. The J7 Pro comes with, is IP54 certified and is touted to come with AR capabilities. And for those out of the loop, AR stands for augmented reality and found widespread usage in the Pokemon Go game. Up till now, only a few devices known as Google Tango devices have had AR capabilities. So what Samsung has managed to implement in their J7 Pro is something that has my curiosity triggered. Is it gonna be another with something similar to Samsung's Bixby? No, that we are uncertain about. But what we do know for sure is that the J7 Pro launches somewhere in the middle of July, with a price tag of 20,900 rupees. So what do you think about that price? Do you think it's justified for a Samsung phone in this price segment? Again, comments, let me know. So enough with the hardware, what about the software inside? Well, both these devices are slated to come out with Android Nougat onboards running Samsung's own payment software as well. Samsung Pay, the same one that we've been seeing on the likes of the Galaxy S8 and the Galaxy S8 Plus, will be available on the J7 Pro. With that, you will be able to pay, will be able to do offline payments, tap to pay at any terminal that accepts your regular credit cards. The J7 Max, due to some sensors being, skimmed out on, it gets a crippled version of it called Samsung Pay Mini, which supports mobile wallets as well as UPI for online transactions. With these phones, Samsung is also bundling 120 gigs of free Geo data that is available as an extra 10 gigs a month for the next 12 months, as in from the first month you buy it, provided you spend 309 rupees on monthly recharges. I don't know what I actually feel about this, kind of have mixed feelings. It might be useful for those for whom smartphones are the only gateway to the internet. And basically, this has been the story of these two phone launches. So, while Samsung, being Samsung, has stuck to some of their gimmicky features, your S suite of stuff, they still have managed to add on a few things that make the J7 Max and the J7 Pro kind of stand out in the price segment. I feel Samsung's getting better. What do you think? And anyway guys, specs aren't everything. If you do want me to get these phones and cover them here on C4E Tech, again, let me know via the comments below. If you did hate this video, go ahead, feel free to give this video a thumbs down. But if you did actually like it, give this video a thumbs up. And for more videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. If you have already subscribed, hit that bell icon to make sure you get notified each time a new video goes live here on C4E Tech. And that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4E Tech, signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye now.